When history writes about influence, it rarely begins with a protest sign or a politician's speech. It begins with a microphone and an audience. In the early 2010s, a small organization called Turning Point USA, or TPUSA, was founded by Charlie Kirk, a young activist from Illinois. Public IRS filings confirm it began as a 501c3 nonprofit in 2012, with a mission to identify, educate, train, and organize students to promote freedom, free markets, and limited government. By 2015, it had chapters on more than 1,000 college campuses and a budget exceeding $8 million, according to publicly available Form 990 records. Kirk's strategy was simple: use memes and social media instead of pamphlets. He once said, in an archived 2016 interview, that young people don't read policy papers, they scroll. Candace Owens entered this world in 2017 as the group's communications director after gaining attention for online commentary critical of political correctness. Her speeches, broadcast by TPUSA Live and C-SPAN, described conservatism as rebellion against conformity. Her reach multiplied through podcasts, debates, and appearances at events like the Student Action Summit. By 2020, she had launched her own media ventures and podcasts, positioning herself as a bridge between conservative politics and internet culture. In 2024, tragedy and transition converged. Charlie Kirk's death, reported by multiple verified outlets and recorded in the organization's official statement, brought a leadership shift. His wife, Erica Kirk, previously known for charity work and faith-based advocacy, became the organization's new CEO. Her appointment, confirmed by TPUSA's board filings and ABC News coverage, emphasized continuity. The same mission with a steadier tone. Under her, the group's stated focus expanded to include civic literacy and faith outreach. The financial disclosures for 2025 show increased donor concentration, reflecting both loyalty and scrutiny. While TPUSA mobilized the youth arm, the broader conservative conversation played out on screen. Television host Tucker Carlson, known for his Fox News program from 2016 to 2023, had become one of the most watched commentators in U.S. history, averaging over 3 million nightly viewers. After leaving the network, he launched an independent media channel that, according to Nielsen and Reuters data, reached tens of millions through social platforms and streaming video. His interviews and monologues often examined nationalism, globalism, and foreign policy, subjects traditionally reserved for think tanks, now discussed in living rooms. Parallel to this, Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, maintained a central role in shaping modern conservative messaging. Official campaign filings with the Federal Election Commission show that by 2024, he remained the most funded Republican candidate, leveraging a digital infrastructure first built in 2016. Rallies, archived speeches, and public statements indicate a political style built on direct connection. Speeches treated as content, not ceremony. Scholars at Harvard's Shorenstein Center describe this as performative populism, the blending of entertainment and mobilization. Internationally, the movement often referenced Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving prime minister. He represents, in many analyses, a global model of conservative governance, economically liberal, security-focused, and rhetorically nationalist. Official Knesset records show that Netanyahu has served 6 terms since 1996. In 2024, he faced both political protests and renewed alliances with U.S. figures, including public support statements from American commentators like Carlson and Owens. The connections were symbolic rather than structural, demonstrations of ideological sympathy, not formal coordination. To understand these figures together, one must view them not as a single organization, but as a network of influence. TPUSA in youth culture, Owens in digital activism, Carlson in mass media, Trump in electoral politics, and Netanyahu in foreign governance. Each leverages modern communication architecture, social platforms, live streaming, podcasts, tools that replaced the op-ed and the town hall. The numbers behind this transformation are measurable. Pew Research Center surveys show that as of 2025, 68% of U.S. adults under 30 receive political information primarily from social media rather than traditional news outlets. The result is political engagement that feels personal, immediate, and algorithmic. Every follow and like is not just opinion, it's data. Critics argue that these ecosystems amplify polarization. Supporters claim they democratize discussion. Both statements are partly true. Studies in the Journal of Communication, JSTOR, demonstrate that exposure to like-minded content increases certainty, but reduces cross-ideological understanding. However, engagement, the sheer act of paying attention, has never been higher. TPUSA reports millions of campus interactions per year. Trump's rallies continue to draw stadiums. Carlson's digital reach rivals cable networks. In metrics alone, influence has replaced infrastructure. In the language of economics, this is the marketization of ideology. Supply meets demand, not in goods, but in attention. Social capital converts to financial capital through donations, merchandise, and sponsorships. The IRS filings of advocacy organizations show revenue models that mirror startups more than political committees. Even global leaders like Netanyahu now communicate through personal channels rather than official press conferences. Gen Z lives at the intersection of these currents. They scroll through ideology the way earlier generations flipped through channels. The challenge isn't ignorance, it's saturation. Every movement, left or right, progressive or conservative, now competes in the same feed for seconds of focus. Understanding who speaks, who funds, and who benefits is no longer political literacy. It's digital hygiene. Objectively, these figures represent a case study in modern political communication. Kirk professionalized campus organizing. Owens weaponized culture. Carlson optimized narrative. Trump monetized movement. Netanyahu institutionalized identity politics in governance. Together they illustrate how persuasion evolves when technology erases distance. Whether one agrees or disagrees with their ideas is secondary to the measurable reality. Their messages shape elections, policy debates, and even foreign perception of American democracy. In that sense, they are part of the historical continuum. Not anomalies, but examples of how influence migrates from podiums to platforms. So, who leads the modern conservative movement? Not a single person, a network. Not a single ideology, a marketplace of them. And in that marketplace, the price of attention is the same as it was for power centuries ago: trust. The lesson for every generation is to know what you follow, why you follow it, and who profits from your attention. Because influence, like energy or currency, never disappears. It only changes form. Follow along for more uniting content.